If you're serious about building real wealth, the first step is simple. You need to know where your money is going. This month is all about getting clear of your current money situation because you can't change what you don't understand. A lot of people avoid looking at their finances. Maybe you've done it too. You spend money and then you avoid checking your bank account. You use your credit card bills and you think, I'll deal with that later. That's totally normal. It's also a trap. It's called the ostrich effect. It's like when an ostrich buries its head in the sand to avoid dangers. We pretend the problem isn't there and hope it goes away, but deep down, we know it is. And here's the truth. Avoiding your money just makes things worse. Facing it, on the other hand, even if it feels uncomfortable, gives you control. It turns stress into confidence. So, what do you need to do this month? Well, you only need to focus on 4 core numbers. This is your core 4. Number 1, net income. How much money hits your bank account after tax? This is your real income, not your salary, but what you actually get to spend. Number 2, essential expenses. These are things you can't live without. Your rent or mortgage, groceries, transport, utility. These are your basic needs. Number 3, savings and investments. Are you saving anything? Do you have investment? Even if the answer is 0, write it down. This number will grow, but first, you need to track it. And number 4, discretionary spending. This is your fun money. Eating out, Netflix, shopping, hobbies. These aren't bad, but it's good to know how much they're costing you. And you can use budgeting app like You Need a Budget or Mint, or maybe a simple spreadsheet to track this. If you want to keep things super simple, Google Sheet or Excel work just fine. And I know this might feel uncomfortable at first. You might find that you are spending more than you thought. Perhaps spending $200 a month on takeout or $80 on subscriptions you forgot. But don't judge yourself. This step isn't about feeling bad, it's about getting real. Once you see where your money is going, you can finally take control. Month 1 is the foundation for everything else that comes next. Without it, none of the other steps really work. So take your time and do the work. For month 2, we'll be building a safety net. Now that you know your numbers, it's time to protect yourself. Because here's the truth, life happens. Your car breaks down, your hours get cut at work, a medical bill shows up out of nowhere. And if you don't have any money saved, even a small emergency can turn into a big crisis. That's why month 2 is all about building a safety net. What is a financial safety net? It is money set aside for real emergencies, not vacations, not a shopping spree, just a simple savings buffer that gives you peace of mind. The goal for this month is simple. You have to save up 1 full month of your essential expenses. Remember, you already figured that out in month 1. For example, let's say your rent, your food, your transportation, your bills, utilities all add up to $2,000. That's the number you want to save. And I know you must be saying, but Chika, I can't save that much in 1 month. That's okay. You don't have to. The key is to start. If you can save it in 1 month, great. If not, spread it over 2 or 3 months, but stay focused. You don't want to let it stretch out to 6 months unless you really have no choice. Every dollar you save brings you to freedom. Remember, you are not punishing yourself. You are buying yourself peace of mind. But here are a few things you can do right now to help you get started saving money fast. 1. Cut subscriptions that you barely use. That $10 or $15 here and there, they do add up. Secondly, maybe cook meals at home. 1 week of skipping takeout can save you over $100. 3, maybe pause unnecessary purchases, clothes, gadgets, upgrade. If it's not urgent, it can wait. 4, sell stuff you don't use. Old electronics, clothes, furniture, list them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. You don't need to earn more money, not yet. You just need to keep more of what you already have. And most people never get past this point. They spend what they earn and they live on the edge. But when you have savings, just even 1 month worth of savings, you are ahead of millions of people. That cushion gives you power. It gives you option. It gives you breathing room. And once you've saved up your first safety net, you can move on to the rest of the plan with more confidence. So in month 3, we're looking at eliminating high interest debt and building an emergency fund. See, now that you've built up 1 month safety net, it's time to tackle one of the biggest wealth killer out there: bad debt. You see, debt is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck living paycheck to paycheck. And not all debts are created equal. Some debts are manageable, some debts are dangerous. Step 1, understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. And here's a simple way to look at it. Good debt: student loan, mortgage, business loan. They are usually maybe under 8%, and they help you build assets and grow your income. Bad debts: credit cards, payday loan, store cards, personal loans. These are usually high interest debts, anything over 8%. They don't help you grow your wealth. As a matter of fact, they cost you more money. Step 2, list out all your debts. Grab a piece of paper, or maybe use a spreadsheet if you want, but write down who you owe, how much you owe, the interest rate, and the minimum payment. Then rank them by interest rate from highest to lowest. That is your attack plan. Step 3, attack the highest interest debt. Now, take any money you have left over after your essential expenses and your small emergency savings and throw it at the highest interest debt first. Make minimum payments on everything else, but your extra cash, laser focus it on the one with highest interest. This method is called the avalanche method, and it saves you the most money over time. If you are feeling overwhelmed by multiple debts, this is how you win, one by one, starting with the worst. Step 4, grow your emergency fund. Once you've crushed your high interest debt, it's time to grow your safety net. You're aiming for 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a separate high yield savings account. If you have a stable job, start with 3 months. If your income goes up and down like a freelancer, a contractor, or a business owner, aim for 6 months. This is what we call a real emergency fund, not just a buffer, but a financial shield. Keep this money somewhere safe, but slightly out of reach, like a high interest savings account, not under your mattress, and definitely not in your checking account where it can easily be spent. Imagine this: no credit card debt and 3 months worth of living expenses tucked away. That, my friend, is freedom. That's peace of mind. That is grace. And this is what sets you up for the next big step: investing and growing your money. Now that your high interest debt is gone or nearly gone, and you've got your emergency fund growing, it's time to take the next big step: start investing. And here's something most people get wrong: they wait until they've made it to start investing. But the truth is, investing is how you make it. You don't need to be rich to start investing. You just need to start early and stay consistent. The earlier you begin, the more time your money have to grow. That's the power of compound interest. So, where do you start? Well, let's break it down so it's simple and stress-free. Step 1, maximize your employer retirement contribution. If your employer offers a retirement match, always take it. This is free money, and it's one of the easiest ways to grow your wealth. For example, if you put 5% of your salary and they match it with another 5%, that's 100% return instantly. Not taking this is like saying no to free money. Don't do that. Step 2, use a tax advantage investment account. Where you invest in is just as important as what you invest in. If you are in the UK, open up a stocks and share ISA. If you are in the US, look into a Roth IRA and a 401k. This account lets you grow your money without paying tax on the profit. That means more money stays in your pocket. Step 3, keep it simple with index funds. You don't need to pick the perfect stocks. As a matter of fact, even the pros struggle with that. The best move for most people is to buy the whole market. That's what index funds do. For example, the S&P 500 is an index of 500 of the biggest companies in America. It's averaged about 7 to 10% over the last few decades, even with the ups and downs. But if you don't have access to the S&P 500 in your country, that's okay. You can look into other ETFs which work similarly. These are low cost, low maintenance, and perfect for beginners. And if you are unsure where to start, check out platforms like Vanguard and Fidelity. Just make sure you understand the fees. Step 4, consider Bitcoin, but be smart about it. This part is really optional, but it's worth thinking about, because with inflation rising and countries moving away from the US dollars, many smart investors are starting to put a percentage of their money into Bitcoin as a long-term hedge. Bitcoin has been the best performing asset of the last decade, but still volatile. So if you decide to invest, start small. Think 1 to 5% of your total investment, and only invest what you are willing to leave alone for years. And here's why you can't skip this. You can't save your way to wealth, especially not with inflation eating away at your money. Investing is what makes your money grow without more effort from you. You are planting seeds today so you can live better tomorrow. And once you start investing, even if it's just $50 a month, you're officially on the path to long-term wealth. By month 5, you've done all the hard work. You faced your finances, built a safety net, crushed debt, and started investing. Now it's time to speed everything up. And the fastest way to do that is to make more money. Saving is powerful, yes, but there's a limit to how much you can cut. But with more income, the sky is your limit. This month is all about finding new ways to increase your income, whether it's through your current job, a new job, or something on the side. Option 1, grow your income at work. Well, let's start with your 9 to 5. Step 1, ask for a raise. If you're doing some great work and haven't gotten a raise in a while, maybe it's time to ask. Do your research, check on websites like Glassdoor to see what people in your role are currently earning, then build a case, meet with your manager and ask for a raise with confidence. Step 2, maybe switch jobs. In many industries, the fastest way to increase your pay is by moving to a new company. I've done this myself, and in one of my earliest videos on YouTube, I break down how changing jobs helped me grow my income year after year. Check out the link in the description, and don't laugh. It's one of my first videos, so the video quality is not the best, but the numbers solid. Option 2, start a side hustle. Well, you don't need to quit your job, do you? You can just add a second stream of income on the side. And here are a few ideas to help you get started with little to no money. 1, freelancing. If you can write, design, edit, or code, use platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. 2, sell digital products. Create ebooks, budget trackers, or templates. Tools like Gumroad can help you do this very easily. 3, tutoring or coaching. Are you good at math, a language, a musical instrument? Help others and get paid for it. Option 4, start a blog, a YouTube channel, or an Instagram page around something you enjoy doing. It won't make you money overnight, but it will build over time. Even an extra $200 or $500 a month can completely change your financial timeline. It could be the money that funds your emergency savings, or pay off your debt faster, or even get you investing sooner. Your income is your greatest financial asset, and when you earn more, you can save more, invest more, and build wealth faster. And here's the best part. Once you learn how to grow your income, it becomes a skill you can use for life. By month 6, you've come a long way. You've faced your money fears, you've built a safety net, you've paid off bad debt, and you started investing. And you're beginning to grow your income. Now it's time to make all that stick without depending on willpower. Because here's something most people don't know. Financial success isn't about discipline, it's about systems, just like every other endeavors in our lives. The more choices you have to make every day, what to eat, what to wear, whether to save or to spend, the more tired your brain gets. This is called decision fatigue, and it's the reason why we slip back into bad money habits. So here's what your game plan is for month 6. We automate everything. Step 1, automate your bills and essentials. Set up automatic payments for rent and mortgages, utilities, insurance, loan payments, credit card minimums, if any. This stops you from missing payments and protects your credit score. Step 2, pay yourself first. This is a big one. As soon as you get paid, automatically send money to your savings account, your investment account, your emergency funds if you're still building it. Treat this like a bill, the most important one, because it's your future. Don't wait until the end of the month to save whatever is left. This is how most people get it wrong and stay broke. Instead, save first, spend second. Step 3, use a separate account for your daily spending. Here's a simple trick that works like magic. Move your fun money, your budget for eating out, shopping, hobbies, into a separate account or a separate debit card each month. Use that account for everyday spending. So once that money is gone, it's gone. No need to track every penny. No need to guess. You will always know where you stand. This makes budgeting effortless. Step 4, review and adjust. Once your system is running, it's not set and forget. Check in with yourself once a month or every quarter. Ask yourself, has my income gone up? Has my expenses changed? Am I still hitting my goals? If you're earning more money, increase your savings and investment rates. If something unexpected come up, make a small tweak. Your savings should grow with you. Automation makes sure you keep growing even when you are tired, distracted, or not paying attention. It takes the pressure off. It removes the need for constant willpower, and it builds real wealth quietly in the background. If you've made it to this stage, here's what happens now. In just 6 months, you've built habits and systems that most people will never figure out in a lifetime. You know where your money is going. You've built a safety net. You've paid off bad debts. You started investing smart. You started earning more money. And now you've automated everything. This isn't a quick fix. This is a new lifestyle. Completely new lifestyle. Now, the question is, are you ready to fix your finances and transform your life? Do let me know in the comments. The ball is in your court.